Obviously, an awful lot of the members of the Great Britain team have their ancestry in the West Indies, and so we thought this was an opportune moment to get Denise to consider her roots with her mum.
The West Midlands will always be home to me. It's where I was born and raised and where my family have lived for almost 60 years. Everywhere you look in Birmingham, there are people who have emigrated here from all over the world.
I grew up in Handworth and Aston in Birmingham, and there was such a strong, tight Jamaican community there that when I was really young, I thought it was a part of Jamaica. I got a big shock when my mother told me that Jamaica is actually somewhere else.
After the Second World War, Britain needed help rebuilding, and the government called out to the Commonwealth.
It was on the radio, and they was going around the streets, you know, saying your mother country needs you, sign up. My mum came over in the early 60s, and I was left in Jamaica with my grandma and my auntie.
It was just the norm at that time, that, you know, friends and family waving each other off to go on the big ships.
I was told that my mum's going to come back, so it was a thing for me. As soon as I hear a plane go over, I'd run out the back door and I'd say, "Mama Celine's coming home," and I'd look up to the skies for the plane.
It was 4 years before my mum could join my grandma, finally swapping the sunshine for a new life in Birmingham.
Remember when you first told me the first time you saw snow? Do you remember how you felt?
Yeah, that I couldn't understand what that was all about, this white thing coming from the heavens. And I looked out and my mum says, "That's snow." And I thought, ooh.
Hi there.
Hi.
Mr. Bailey.
Yes, good to meet you.
Good to see you.
Elise.
Louis, yes.
Very good to meet you.
What actually brought you over to the country in the first place?
I think I was in my youth. I think it was the thought of a young person just want to travel.
But the new arrivals found the mother country different to the dream they had pictured, facing a struggle to find work.
It was a tough life as such, but I think because we were young people, you know, and have a lot of energy in us, and the hardness of it did not deter us from going forward and moving into British society. Going back to Jamaica, we'd look at ourselves as a failure, and in our psyche. I don't know if it's a Jamaican in us that says, no, you've got to succeed.
In 1962, Jamaica gained independence from the United Kingdom, something which has been celebrated today, 50 years later. The Jamaican team chose to base themselves in Birmingham in the weeks leading up to the Games. With Bolt, Blake and Fraser-Price already dominating on the track, it would seem the team have got their preparations spot on. Perhaps it was the Brummie air.
Jamaica is a very small country, a very small island, but the athletes that it's produced being completely out of proportion to its size. In terms of arts, culture and sports, Jamaica, it produces continent loads of people, you know.
The champion becomes a legend.
Will we be celebrating in this shop?
We definitely will, won't we? Yes, we'd have to throw a party, won't we?
You enjoyed making that, didn't you?
I loved it. It's always great to go home, but even better to go home to celebrate such an iconic time in you know, British culture, but also very much in Jamaican heritage. And it was fantastic for me.